It may seem odd that researchers from the University of Florida chose to complete their research in Michigan. However, Michigan is the first state to mandate that all students must have virtual learning experience before graduating from high school. Online teaching and learning was first introduced to K-12 schools in 1996. Since that time, it has grown in popularity. However, there's little information regarding best practices for the online environment. This study hopes to shed light on best practices in the online environment that are not focused on a post-secondary audience or grounded in face-to-face best practices. Research triangulation is a method that analyzes data from different perspectives to arrive at consistency across the data point sources. If you, like me, need more information on triangulation and qualitative research, I found the following YouTube video helpful. Best practices is found in the Michigan study. In general, online teachers go the extra mile to support student learning. For example, they use the correct assessment tools, alter instruction to meet multiple intelligences, and perhaps most importantly, they're there for their students. Teachers are able to use basic technology skillfully. They understand the advantages and limitations of the course delivery system, and they can lead students successfully through them. Online teachers enjoy exploring new tech and are willing to use it to provide added value in virtual environments. Teachers are flexible with time. More time is spent building and improving the online experience, as well as taking time to support students via personal interactions when it's convenient for the students and their caregivers. Online teachers need a deep understanding of the learning styles of their students. Online teachers consider the needs of students who are enrolled in online schooling, and they offer instruction in various modalities such as labs, text, and video. Teachers establish an online presence. Students are able to engage with the instructor via chat, discussion boards, and email. Students see teachers as engaged and willing to help them at any time. All of these lead to higher student motivation. Good online teachers need good organizational skills. This was cited as one of the most important aspects of online teaching. An online teacher must log in at set times every day, check the message and discussion boards, along with getting feedback and grades back to students promptly. Teachers use student and course data to self-evaluate pedagogical strategies. Good online teachers are constantly refining instruction to make sure assessment goals are reached. Teachers have extensive expertise in their area and actually enjoy teaching it. Students will ask questions that cannot be answered from the course material. The instructor must have excellent foundation knowledge and be able to translate it in ways that a student can understand. Teachers understand pacing and the impact it has on course design and pedagogy. Some courses are populated by extremely motivated students who will achieve without instructor pacing. Others need a stricter pacing guide to continue to achieve via mandated steps. The instructor needs to design the course for the specific audience. Teachers keep up to date with curriculum and technology. In other words, they're always learning and using that learning to enhance their online courses. The teachers are committed to offering courses via virtual instruction. They know their courses are important for the students who take them, and they strive to offer the best possible educational opportunity. Best practices for online classroom management. Online instructors address inappropriate or abusive behaviors in public forums, just like face-to-face instruction. Educators outline digital citizenship at the onset of the course. They make one-to-one contact with students who violate the policy. Just like in brick-and-mortar setting, all students deserve to feel safe. Virtual educators monitor public communications in their course to identify students in crisis, just like teachers in a non-virtual setting. Online educators look for indications of students who may be in crisis and contact the correct authorities to get help for that student. 5 best pedagogical practices include assessment, engaging students with content, making the course meaningful for students, providing support, and communication and clarity. Online teachers use multiple strategies to assess student learning. There are significant differences in assessments in the various content areas. Online educators are comfortable giving alternatives, whether that's an alternative assignment that students can show their learning in a way that is personally meaningful, be open and flexible, allow students to showcase their knowledge in ways that are meaningful to them. They also use alternative assessments to allow for various learning styles. Online educators engage students with content by building in course content that reflects student interests. We all know enjoyment of something will up the learning outcomes. They also use flexible strategies to accommodate learning styles. Online educators provide multiple modalities for students to interact with. They provide different ways to interact with the material, such as text, graphs, video, or audio. Virtual educators establish strong relationships with the students' on-site mentors. They get to know the people who interact with the student face-to-face. This makes sure students have the on-site support to learn. Educators provide multiple strategies to support interaction between students and between student and instructor. When students feel like a valued member of a community, they have a more vested interest in being successful. Online educators motivate students by making course content clear. Clear expectations of content, assignments, and deadlines decrease frustration and dropout. They also embed deadlines to motivate students in self-paced courses to complete requirements. Even the best students can be procrastinators. Making the course meaningful for students. Online educators use strategies to connect content to student lives. Knowing your instructor cares about you as a person and is helping you connect school to your real life goes a long way in encouraging students to participate and maintain engagement. Online educators form relationships with students during conversations about content and non-content related topics. Kids want to connect with adults and peers, so keep that interest alive by encouraging them to share non-course related interests and activities. Online educators encourage and support communication between students. They create an engaging and social online environment that keeps students coming back to interact with their peers. They seek out and use supplemental materials to help students with diverse needs. The web is full of great stuff to aid learners, so use it. And don't forget that a one-on-one session just might work too. Providing support in an online environment. Online educators need to monitor student progress and interact to determine and remediate knowledge gaps. Intuition is the virtual teacher's best friend. Virtual instructors need to know how to ask the right questions to assess student understanding. Creating communication and community. Online educators need to facilitate the formation of community among learners by encouraging content and non-content discussions. This goes back to those non-course related communications. Post a thought of the day, a funny meme, or a question of the week to the discussion board. Online instructors can interact with students using multiple modes of communication. Telephone, IM, chat, all of those provide a great way to get to know your students. It's important in online education to provide quick feedback, to provide motivation to continue working toward course goals. It's also important to model what formal online communication looks like in email and discussion boards, and discuss the importance of code switching. Online educators must monitor tone and emotion in their communications with students. What seems like an innocuous comment to you in an email can be seen as a stinging criticism by the reader. It's all about the tech in online learning. Online educators need to purposefully use tools built into the platform to best support student learning. Don't be afraid to experiment and change things that aren't working. Educators need to consider student access to technology when integrating web-based components into their course. Make sure you know the extent of your students' web access. Design instruction and assessment that is not dependent on having access to streaming technology. Online educators need to be careful that knowledge of content and knowledge of students drives the use of technology. Tech is awesome, but it shouldn't drive your instruction. Use the platform best suited to your content to present information. Don't let the latest tech drive your instruction. While some find beauty in the virtual model of education because it does away with the physical responsibilities of classroom management, such as arranging desks, hanging posters, and managing student behaviors, classroom management stands out as the key component in successful, quality online education. K-12 online learning is an understudied field. This places limitations on the study. That, along with a small sample size of 16 teachers, enumerates best practices but is not definitive. Another limitation is the technological, pedagogical content knowledge aspect of online learning that needs further exploration. In other words, what are the differences in best practices between different content materials? The world of online learning is rapidly developing and expanding. It opens doors not only for learners, but also professional educators who can balance the pedagogy with the technical and organizational demands of the job. Good teaching methods cross the digital divide. Not all classroom teachers have the skill set or desire to move to the online instruction world. Conversely, those with the technical skills may not actually be successful virtual teachers. The world of online learning is rapidly developing and expanding. It opens doors not only for learners, but also professional educators who can balance the pedagogy with the technical and organizational demands of the job.